It is Sunday night, and you know what that means. It is the Sunday Night League, but it is not GTE. We are here for one night only MR Cup. The Mr. Cup is here at the Sunday Night League. If you don't know what that is, where have you been? The MR Cup is for the mid to rear engined cars because we're basically checking to see if the game works with these ahead of season number 4 of GTE. So we have got 2 races for you this evening. Both are 30 minutes long, and each driver has got an MR based GT3 car on the game. So we'll go through the list of drivers. We've got 12 drivers with us tonight. Good evening, Mika. She's in the chat. Good evening, Matt Psycho, also in the chat. Also on the grid as well. So we'll have a look at the grid for you now. So we have in the number 2 Ford GT, it is Illusion, the GTE Season 3 champion. In the number 3 Porsche, we have got GT87 Mika. In the number 4 Renault RS01, we've got Pat. In the number 5 Audi R8, we have got Silent Wolf. Rob on drums is saying good luck in the chat, and so is Pat. Then we have the number 16 Ford GT of Matt Psycho. Then we have Rob on drums in the Peugeot RCZ in the number 42 car. In the 51 we have the return of Daz, but he's in a Ford GT, but it's the LM race car Spec 2, so it's slightly different. Then we have number 57 Aloe, he's in an Audi R8. Then we have number 79, Specmere, in his Alfa Romeo, the notorious car from season number 2 of GTE. Hopefully he does not have any problems. Then we have 86, Cool Do Boy, in the Ferrari 458. Then we have the team principal, Gazman, in the McLaren 650S. And finally, Speed Hunter in the car 98. And he's also in the McLaren 650S. So Gazman's car is 89. I did not mention that before. So we are here at Yamagiwa, and we've got Yamagiwa going the right way, and then later on in the evening we will have Yamagiwa going in the reverse direction, because we've got 2 races for you this evening. Both races will have 10 minutes of qualifying prior to the race start, and the results of both races will count towards the drivers' points for the event. So it's the same point system as in GTE, 25 points for the win, 22 for second, 20 for third, 18, 16, 14, 12, 10, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and then 1 if we had 16 drivers driving. So that is the point system for us tonight, and the driver with the best score over the 2 races will win the MR Cup, the prestigious MR Cup. It's a highly decorative piece of silverware that the drivers are all fighting for, and we've got it here for the first time ever in the Sunday Night League. Such a privilege for all these drivers. Now, as I said, it's going to be a 30-minute race. We are going to have 2 separate broadcasts. We're going to have 2 separate videos for this. So this is race number 1. We'll have 10 minutes of qualifying, which will start very shortly. Somebody's revving their engine along the pit lane. And then we'll have a 30-minute timed race. So that is slightly different. A 30-minute timed race. I just need to change one of the settings. I've just realised that I need to change a setting. Not the car settings. Hold on. I need to change the event setting. I've just realised I haven't got the grid start turned on. Where is it? That's preparation for you, everybody. There it is. Grid start with false check enabled. Did I change it? I probably didn't. This is professionalism. There we go. Just changing that slightly. There we go. Just change the room settings slightly. There we are. Okay, so just make sure everybody's ready, and then we will get qualifying underway. So we have got 10 minutes of qualifying here for everybody, and qualifying start now. So qualifying starts now. They have 10 minutes to go out on track and get themselves into position. Race information display, all race information. So cars are coming out on track, and Pat is our first driver out on track. Here he goes into Yamagiwa. Let's go on board with Pat in his Renault RS01. Thank you everyone that is joining us for the broadcast live here at the Sunday Night League. We are here at Yamagiwa for the MR Cup. Race number 1, qualifying is just beginning, 10 minutes here. Soft tyres on Pat's car as well, as we go through the S's at the beginning of the circuit. So this track has been picked for its challenging nature. We've got a 30-minute race, so a few drivers choosing mediums, some are choosing softs for the race. So we'll see how they go. Chris Boo is in the chat. He says, hello everyone, hello Jam, good luck to everyone. He says, as we go down into the left-right chicane, this is a tricky point of the circuit. A lot of drivers finding it challenging through that. Turn 8, 9 and 10. Through turn 11 and then through turn 12 hairpin. It's an opportunity for drivers, so Pat running a little bit wider than he may have liked. He's let Illusion past. So Illusion is ahead of us now in his Ford GT. They go through the chicane at the end of the lap. 13-14. It's tighter on the second bars as Pat runs wide a little bit onto the exit curb, and then turn 15 is a right-hand hairpin. So on Ford now to see Illusion taking that in his Ford GT. He's in a red and white number. The car he's driven at Le Mans in the Sunday Night League. There is Pat in the Renault RS01. Cancer Research UK. Stand Up to Cancer as well on the car. So fantastic cause there for Pat. I know it's a personal cause for him. So again, as ever with any charity that you see at Sunday Night League, please go onto their website, search it, give what you can. Any amount helps these charities, especially in these times. We have Cool Duboy in the very pink Ferrari. There it is, the IS Sauron is at the back. Then we've got Mika in her Porsche, in the Gulf liveried Porsche. Returning to the Sunday Night League, then with Silent Wolf in his R8 Audi, the Red Bull inspired car. Looking very nice in the sun here at Yamagiwa. Then we've got Gazman in his McLaren. A very pretty looking car. Attacking the curbs. He's taking a rare race seat. You can commit to these one-off events. Here is Aloe in his R8, so should I say, not the R18. But sneaking around the hairpin, the long hairpin. Rob on drums there in his Peugeot RCZ. Very bright colours on these cars. Jägermeister of the 4GT LM race car. Illusion puts itself onto pole as we look through the rest of the field. Speckmere there in his very nice looking Alpha. Very nicely done. Speed Hunter in his McLaren, also a grey and white number. And then Matt Psycho in his Gulf liveried Ford GT. But at the top of the field it is Illusion in his Ford GT, followed by Cool Duboy in the Ferrari. And then we have Pat in third with Mika closely behind. Let's see what Silent Wolf can do. He's on his outlap. Gasman crossing the line to set his time. He puts himself third, 1.3 seconds behind the whole time of Illusion. Rob on drums is there. Daz is up. Aloe has had a bit of an accident. Looks like somebody else had gone off around him as well. But we'll go back then with Illusion, who's going through turn number 12 towards the end of the lap. Running out wide. The 4GT. He's up on his time. 3 attempts up on his pole position time. Attacking the end chicane, running onto the curb. These cars, notorious in the original settings of the game to be very tricky on acceleration and curbs and just unpredictable. So we're going to see a few drivers. Speed Hunter has put himself up into second place, less than a tenth behind Illusion, who's pitted now. Toyo tyres been replaced on his car. So Cool Dubois has decided to carry on his lap. What does he do? He sets himself, he's gone quicker than he has gone before. He's 3 tenths now behind the pole position time of Illusion. Gasman coming out of the chicane, the end of the lap. Through the final hairpin. He's currently in 4th place, but he's a second behind that of 3rd place Cool Dubois. Silent Wolf has put himself somehow in the gap between Illusion and Speed Hunter. That is fantastic to see. The top 3 are covered by 97 thousandths of a second. Let's have a look at the other drivers in the field. Speckmere is in 8th place. Aloe now in 9th. He had an accident on his lap though. Rob on drums coming across the line. He looks like he's going to be competitive. He puts himself up into 5th place, 1.3 seconds behind, and just somehow ahead of Gasman. And Pat has put himself in 8th place. Mika also there in 9th, very tightly bunched there for 7th, 8th and 9th. Matt Psycho coming to the end of his lap, as Illusion is there on pole position by less. Oh no, Speed Hunter's just gone a 1.3 seconds quicker than Illusion. That is a phenomenal lap time from Speed Hunter. Here's McLaren then on pole. As it stands, Illusion coming on his out lap. What does Matt Psycho do? He was coming towards the end of his lap. He's coming out the final corner. He's had an accident, it looks like, on this lap, because he's 1 minute 52. That is a very slow time for Matt Psycho. 21 seconds off the pole time. So a lot of time to be had for him. What does Illusion do in response? We've got Silent Wolf going for the pole position, and he's 1.2 seconds off Speed Hunter. What a lap time by Speed Hunter in that McLaren. As the sun starts to come out here at Yamagiwa, we have got Cool Dubois there in 4th place. 5th place in his Ford GT, the older version of the car, is Daz. So this is the 2002 based car. 20 years old, this car now. Let's see what Daz does as he crosses the line. It's quicker. It is quicker. He puts himself closer to the 4th place of Cool Dubois. Rob on drums currently in 6th in his Peugeot. 7th is Gasman in his McLaren. He's 4 tenths up already though on his lap time. Good evening, Salek. Salek saying good luck all as well. Good to see Salek in the chat. So Aloe is in the pits as well. Pat in his Renault. The Renault always looks really nice, no matter what livery it's running. Looking especially good in Pat's livery here. Mika in 10th place has got Silent Wolf just running wide on the exit of the chicane. Mika's tyres looking very warm though after 5 laps. Speckmere there in 12th. He's on hard tyres at the moment, so he might need to put some soft tyres on. Illusion has gone 3 tenths of a second closer to Speed Hunter, so he's 3 tenths of a second behind. Matt Psycho puts himself in contention, puts himself into 3rd place in his GT. He's going quicker as well, as we have just over a minute left of this session. Cool Dubois is in 4th. He'll have time to finish his lap. His tyres looking worn out though, so these tyres not lasting very long on these cars. I wonder if we're going to see a race of attrition. As I say, one of these races the drivers have to run the hard tyres at some point. Gasman there in 6th place. 7th place at the moment is Daz, so Gasman's put himself, and he's going quickest after the first sector in his McLaren. Nice wide line through turn number 6. Long left-hander. Later in the race we will be doing this track in the opposite direction. Running in the opposite direction. Let's see. what everybody's doing. There we go. 10 seconds left then of the session. Let's hope it all starts fine. It looks like it's going to start fine. We've got 10 seconds left then. We'll see how the session finishes. At some point they will put qualifying in this game and allow us to spectate in a normal way as well, but right now we have to just deal with this. False starts will be penalised. Speed Hunter on pole, Illusion in second, Matt Psycho third, Cool Dude Boy fourth, Silent Wolf fifth, Gasman sixth, Daz seventh, and Rob on drums is in 8th place. Ooh, oh no, we're going to become Speed Hunter. And we're a Speed Hunter, off he goes from the pole. It's a slower start off, and Cool Dude Boy is flown off the line. He takes the lead going into turn number 1. He's got the inside line as Speed Hunter is in second and drops down because Illusion overtakes him. Matt Psycho there in 4th. Let's go off board and then change the way we're looking. Somebody is off wide. It looked like a Lowy was off wide there, but Cool Dude Boy leading the field from Illusion. And he's feeling the pressure. He's on defending on the inside going into turn number 6. There's Illusion there in 2nd place. The Ferrari shot off the line in comparison to the cars around it. And Illusion in 2nd place is looking up the inside though as they go into the chicane for the first time. Illusion manages to get through, but then Cool Dude Boy says, no, I'm not letting you past. And there we go, Illusion down into 4th place, down into 5th now, dropping like a stone. As Speed Hunter then takes the lead from Cool Dude Boy's Ferrari. Speed Hunter there in 1st place, Cool Dude Boy in 2nd in his Ferrari, keeping the pressure on the McLaren though. As they go through the chicane for the first time, tightening of turn number 14. And it's Speed Hunter having a better exit than the Ferrari, as Matt Psycho keeping the pressure. He's in 3rd place in his Ford GT. Keeping a tight line as they exit the first lap of this 30-minute race. Oh, this is good. I don't have a timer to tell you how long the 30 minutes are. Well, I suppose I have. I've got it in the bottom left corner. And that's maybe where the countdown is. So we're on lap number 2. Silent Wolf there in 4th place in his Audi. 5th place is Illusion after his incident with Cool Dude Boy on the opening lap. In 5th. 6th place is Gasman in his McLaren. 7th is Rob on drums in his Peugeot, looking very nice in that multicoloured car. 8th place is Pat, keeping the pressure on with Mika in 9th. Speckmere there, he is the only driver on hard tyres during this race. It looks like he's using the hards. He's going to get rid of them. Cancer Research UK on the side of his car as well, supporting Pat. Aloe there is in 11th. And Daz on medium tyres. Daz has had an issue on the opening lap, it would seem. In his GT, he was up in 7th place. He's now down to 12th. But Speed Hunter leads in his McLaren ahead of Cool Dude Boy in the purple Ferrari. So Speed Hunter, he got pole position by quite a margin. It's a track he seems to be going well at. The man from Mauritius, as we see Cool Dude Boy running wide on the exit of the chicane. That will bring him vulnerable to Matt Psycho and Silent Wolf in 4th. As we go on board with Matt Psycho, we can see Silent Wolf in the Audi behind, and ahead of us is that very distinctive purple Ferrari of Cool Dude Boy. Cool Dude Boy under pressure now from Matt Psycho and Silent Wolf. Some very quick drivers behind him. Gasman has got himself up into 5th place, sliding the McLaren around turn number 1 with Illusion dropping behind. So Illusion not having the best of starts to this race. So Illusion finding this Ford GT a little bit of a handful. Putting the pressure on the McLaren. So we've got the McLaren in first. What can Illusion do into turn 6? He keeps the inside line, hugging the inside, and manages to put himself ahead of Gasman. But Gasman gets the better exit and manages to power past the Ford. So Illusion drops down to 6th place through the chicane where the incident happened on the opening lap for Illusion and Cool Dude Boy. Mika is up into 7th place in her Porsche. in 8th. With Aloe in 9th place in his Audi. Specmere is in 10th. Daz is there in 11th on medium tyres for Daz. And Rob on drums also on mediums. So running longer, but I think Rob's had a bit of an issue. So soft tyres, the order of the day for the majority of the pack, but we are seeing others run a different strategy. Speed Hunter setting a new purple lap time, new fastest lap of the race, a 1:31.941 in the McLaren. He's got a 4-second lead, but he's running wide on the exit as he goes through the S's at the start of the lap, through turn number 4 and turn number 5. He's heading towards the hairpin of turn number 6. He's 4 seconds ahead of Cool Dude Boy, who is 1.9 seconds ahead of Matt Psycho in the Ford. So Ferrari, oh no, the Ferrari's gone off though. The Ferrari has hit the wall and is pointing the wrong way. He drops down to 6th place. He's going to drop down even further because we can see Pat passing him now as well. So the Ferrari has dropped down now to 8th, possibly down into 9th place. Lots of damage on that car. And we've got Specmere in the Alfa Romeo. We go on board with the only driver on the hards. He's driving in 10th place. His aim will be to run probably for the half an hour race without stopping. He is definitely catching the Ferrari ahead though. Damage still possibly on the Ferrari, although it's now cleared up as we go on board. That Ferrari seems to be sliding a lot considering it's got traction control. Says Sarek in the chat. But at the front, we have got Speed Hunter leading the race in the McLaren. McLaren looking very strong in his hands. He's 7.6 seconds now ahead of Matt Psycho. He's got Silent Wolf there in 3rd and Illusion in 4th. Illusion getting past Gasman, finding his rhythm now. 1:32.2 for him. So he's only 3 tenths off the fastest lap set by Speed Hunter, the race leader. So Illusion there in 4th as we get run over by him through the S's. Setting good times. There is Gasman climbing up the hill, going down into the turn 6. 135R or 135R. Mika in 6th place. 7th place, Pat. 8th is Aloe. And 9th is Cool Dude Boy. His tyres have really taken a battering after his accident. So we have Rob on drums in 12th. Speed Hunter leading and flying in the McLaren. He has found the setup needed to drive this car. He had a troubled first season, I would say, in GTE. Showed pace at times and did get podiums and fastest laps, but the consistency wasn't quite there for him throughout the season in GTE, driving BMW. He'll be hoping for a more consistent season going into season number 4. He's showing very strong already though here at Yamagiwa. We are 8 minutes into this 30-minute race, but his tyres, the right hand side, not looking too happy. So Speed Hunter leads the race. Matt Psycho in 2nd place in his Ford GT, sliding around this back. This S's section at the start of the race. He's on medium tyres actually, is Matt Psycho. Sarlek asking when will you see Jam back in the races. If you can find me a commentator, Sarlek, who's consistent and reliable, then maybe you'll see me back. But to be honest, I've not driven this game for months now. So probably I won't be back in the saddle for a long time. Silent Wolf there in 3rd place. He's got the pressures of Illusion in the Ford GT right behind him. So Silent Wolf there in 3rd with Illusion. These 2 incredible teammates at Mercedes in season number 3 GTE. Absolutely dominating the season. Illusion won the championship, but Silent Wolf was only 6 points away from him in the end. and their stats overall in GTE are separated by 9/10. Oh, we've seen a little mistake there, but it's not the first time that we've seen Simon Wolf sliding his car out of the corners, but the Audi now has lost the position to Illusion in the GT, but Illusion is on soft tyres and the Audi is on mediums. So Illusion has to get away. He's run wide though on the exit of turn number 1, but manages to keep hold of that car. You definitely see the drivers having to fight these MR cars a lot more than you see them fighting the normally aspirated cars. Well, not normally aspirated, the front to rear engined cars compared to these. Shout out to my husband Aloe and put fellow Sneak Energy buddy Gazman. Says Titchy Boots. Titchy Boots back in the chat as we see Simon Wolf really attacking the chicane. We'll go to Aloe, who's having a good fight actually with Pat. Pat running though on the grass. As we join him, Aloe is going to then have a good run going into the chicane. So Aloe up into 6th place, as we can see Daz moving himself up into 7th and Cool Duboy following him as well. So Daz up into 7th. Let's go on board with this very old school looking Ford GT LM Le Mans Race Spec 2 car. It's a mouthful as we see the Ferrari crashing once more. In the mirror, the Ferrari off again, as we see at the front of the field, Illusion into the pits. The first pit stop is happening. He's on the soft tyres. What does he go on for the rest of this race? So we can see different tyre manufacturer, no fuel put on the car, and he's on to the hards is Illusion. So Illusion deciding to use the hards here for race number 1. Pat is also into the pits in his Renault. Cool Duboy also in the pits with a lot of damage in his rear tyres, not looking too happy. Rob on drums then will sneak up the field. This is the perfect type of race for Rob on drums. He's a very good tactician. He's putting himself into contention. Pat puts on the hard tyres as well, so Pat also going for hards. As Gazman also in the pits puts hard tyres on his car. And Cool Duboy putting hards on his Ferrari too, and saying hello to the wall again. Ferrari not having the best of time. In the lead is Speed Hunter. Now does Speed Hunter pit? No, he does not. He keeps going. Setting 132.6s in comparison to Matt Psycho's 134.0. So Speed Hunter currently leading by 13.5 seconds from Matt Psycho, the McLaren driver, looking very strong. We're 13 minutes into this race nearly. Of 30 minutes. And Speed Hunter looking very strong here. Thank you everyone that is watching us live on YouTube. Like, share, subscribe, chat to me in the chat as well. It is always nice to hear from you. We've had Titchy Boots commenting, we've had Salek as well in the chat. Mika is in the pits in her Porsche. Golf liveried Porsche coming down the pit lane. Slowly but surely, there it is. Into the pits it comes, changing those Toyo tyres. And no fuel for that car. She goes out. Specmere is in 7th place, and there is a Lowy in his Audi. In his Sneak Energy. And it looks like he's putting fuel in. So unlike a lot of his rivals, he's putting fuel into the car. So he's gone and he's put medium tyres on, he's put a full tank of fuel in as well. So we've got Gazman fighting with Pat around the outside. Let's go on board with Gazman in the S's. Pat's up ahead of him. 9th and 10th place currently in the race. They've done their pit stop. We're going to see what they can do for the rest of the session. Does Gazman have a look up the inside, but at the front of the field we have got the race leader into the pits. Speed Hunter is there. Matt Psycho, I don't expect him to come into the pits. There is the number 98 McLaren. Into the pits it comes. Some tyres. Does it put fuel in? Yes it does. Fuel is going into the McLaren as Matt Psycho goes into the lead of the race in his Ford. He's got medium tyres on. moment. Silent Wolf goes into second place, looking in the mirrors as Speed Hunter comes out of the pits on hard tyres as well. So he's using the hards. Illusion coming into the pits. So he's used hards. Mika on soft. So Mika deciding not to use hard tyres as it stands in the race. She puts herself up into 5th place. Spekmir, is he going to get ahead of Illusion? So, running on the hard since the beginning of the race, Spekmir has put himself up into 7th place. Illusion has run on the hards, he's now on softs. So Spekmir there in 7th place. Seeing the 4GT up ahead, we have got Rob on drums in 8th, Gasman 9th, 10th is Pat, 11th for Lowen, and Cool Duboy there in 12th place on his hard tyres. In the lead, in the Gulf livery, 4GT is Matt Psycho going through turns 13 and 14. Fighting that car every bit of the way. Can't imagine it's a very easy car to drive. When I drove it, when the game launched, it would randomly spin as Silent Wolf is sliding his car. He's coming into the pits though, as his MFT colleague takes over 2nd place. A Speed Hunter 11.1 seconds behind Matt Psycho. He's currently on hard tyres. He's done a 137.1 compared to a 134.1 of Matt Psycho. But that was an outlap. Daz up into 3rd place. His medium tyres are allowing him to move up the field. So his Le Mans car consistently doing 134s to 135s, keeping himself in contention. Silent Wolf there in 4th place, has made his stop, and he's on medium tyres now. So he's running a different strategy to those around him. Mika there on the softs. In 5th. 6th place is Illusion. After using hard tyres, he's sliding the car through turn number 6. Fantastic drifting skills there from Illusion in the 4GT. These cars definitely more tail happy. You can see it on the off-boards as Illusion is 6th place. Spekmir in 7th, currently on hards. He's been on those hards since the beginning of the race. He's just running himself into the rest of the field. You can see Rob on drums behind him, but at the front of the pack we have got Matt Psycho coming into the pits to replace his medium tyres. He'll put some fuel on as well. I would expect to see Speed Hunter takes the lead again. So Speed Hunter on hard tyres. Looking for his first win in the Sunday, I believe. Psycho coming out of the pits. He's now on soft tyres. Psycho on softs. 9 seconds ahead of Daz, who hasn't made his stop yet. And I don't expect to see him make his stop for a while. He's definitely using those tyres very well. It's ahead of Silent Wolf. There's some darkness in the sky, but don't worry, ladies and gentlemen, you can't have rain here at Yamagiwa. Daz running slightly wide through the left-hander, turn number 6. Silent Wolf catching up ever so slightly in his Audi. He's got a more responsive car because of the grippier tyres. His mediums are newer than those of Daz. Is really catching up that Ford GT LM race car Spec 2 ahead of him, going through the hairpin there. Lovely shot at turn number 12. And you can see the Audi all over the back now of the Jägermeister Ford. The Red Bull and Jägermeister. Some people would love those as a combination, I'm sure. Don't want these two mixing on track too much. Mika there up in 5th place. Keeping these boys in her sights. She's doing 133.9s. got the attention of Illusion though. So on board with the Ford GT, he's on soft tyres. Does he have a move on Mika into turn number 1? Mika defends the inside line. Illusion decides, right, I'll go around the outside. He uses a bit of the curb to pitch the car around, and he's driven round the outside of Mika. What a move there by Illusion. In the Ford GT, Rob on drums pitting from 8th place. Silent Wolf closing in on Daz up ahead of him. Can't get the move done through turn 6, but Daz running a little bit wider through the corner. Able to use the speed, but I think we're going to get on board with Silent Wolf because he's got a chance into turn 7, 8 and 9. But this chicane, it is deceptive. You think you can make a move, but actually it then concertinas and you can't get through like you wished you could. There is Daz then keeping 3rd place. Matt Psycho is doing his best efforts to try and catch up Speed Hunter. So Speed Hunter is on hard tyres, and he's just done a 1:33.6. Matt Psycho, in comparison, is doing a 32.4. So he's over a second quicker. Do we reckon we have 7 laps left of this race? It's 21 minutes into it. It is a 30-minute race. Psycho catching up through the S's. Daz is still ahead of Silent Wolf, but they've got Illusion catching them. They're on board with the Ford GT through the S's. Silent Wolf running wide on the exit of turn number 1, which will compromise him through the rest of the S's. You can see how much it is because Illusion is catching him hand over fist. We could have a move into turn number 6. Will Silent Wolf defend the inside line against his Mercedes teammate? Doesn't have to. He's sliding the car though. We can see these 3 cars now covered by about half a second. What will Illusion do? What will Daz do as they go down into the chicane? Daz is flashing. You can see the 3 cars sliding through. Silent Wolf is on the grass. Silent Wolf is going to lose the position to Illusion, somehow managing to keep hold of the back of that Audi, and he is down to 5th place. The Ford GT of Illusion up into 4th. It will take over the 3rd place. You can see the different versions of the GT there right in front of you as Daz comes through the chicane at the end of the lap. Turn number 14 catches a bit more curb than his newer teammate in the Ford of Illusion. I say teammate, they're in different teams, they're running different cars. Daz then is going to drop down the field as he makes his pit stop. Into the pits he goes. What will he do towards the end of this race for Daz now? That's Psycho though 5.7 seconds behind Speed Hunter. His last lap was again 1.3 seconds quicker than Speed Hunter. So Speed Hunter is going to feel the pressure of Matt Psycho breathing down his neck at the end of this race. But we've got a 4GT in 2nd, a 4GT in 3rd, an Audi in 4th, and in 5th place is Mika, running very nicely in her Porsche. 6th place is Specmere. He has not stopped. He is still running in this race. He has been fuel saving brilliantly in the hard tyres. He's not done a stop. He's currently in 6th. Daz there in 7th, now on hard tyres as well. He's going to finish the race on hards. He's heavier on fuel, but fresher with his tyres. So I think Specmere is going to have to pit before he finishes the race. There is a Lowy currently in 8th place. And, oh, there's Cool Duboy pointing backwards. He's also got Michelin on the rear. Gasman in 11th place, coming to some yellow flags. You can see the Ferrari in the middle of the circuit. Pat down in 12th place. Pat must have had an issue. 151 for Pat on his last lap. But Speed Hunter leading the race in the McLaren. Illusion coming into the pits again. So Illusion in the pits once more. Those soft tyres are not lasting at all. Well, Mika has got herself up into 4th place. Currently in 4th. 4.5 seconds behind Silent Wolf. Silent Wolf must have had an issue. He's 18.8 seconds now behind Matt Psycho. Matt Psycho a 10th up on his best time. He is closing in on the race leader. There is just over 5 minutes of this race left. He's going to push hard for this victory. He did not win a race in GTE season number 3. He was in the Ford Mustang. He's now back in another Ford GT. And he's pushing for the victory. He's racing hard against Speed Hunter. Speed Hunter, though, has got the hard tyres on his McLaren. Whilst Matt Psycho has got... Matt Psycho's hit the wall! Matt Psycho has crashed! Chasing down! Speed Hunter has crashed through the 13-14 chicane. And he's lost so much time. He's lost 10 seconds more than on this lap. That might mean that Speed Hunter is going to get this victory here in race number 1 here at Yamagiwa in the MR Cup. We have race 2 though. In a little while there'll be a 10-minute break for the broadcast, and then we will have race number 2 very shortly after that. But Silent Wolf there in 3rd place, driving his Audi. Mika into the pits then, 4th place. No longer, she has to make a stop. Illusion then back up into 4th in his Ford GT, but Mika having a very strong running. Spekmir has not stopped. He has not stopped in this race. He's short shifting that Alpha beautifully. Daz in 7th place in his Ford. Spekmir in 6th place. Mika is there in 5th, still up there in this race. Cool Dude Boy in the chat saying I suck. That's him, not me. So there is Mika in 5th. 6th place is Spekmir. 7th is Daz. He's on those hard tyres. Aloe in 8th place. So he's managing to use those tyres on the Audi. 9th place is Rob on drums. He's now on hard tyres. Rob on drums using the hards as well. Gasman in 10th. Matt Psycho coming into the pits then. He's decided he had had enough of those soft tyres. Hard tyres though on Speed Hunter. The clouds look very dark here at Yamagiwa, but they are not running in wet conditions unless we get a sudden change of outcome. Silent Wolf then in 2nd place after the troubles of Matt Psycho. He's on medium tyres. The Audi driver coming up to lap Pat and letting him through. They go through turn number 6. There is the Audi sliding yet again. So Silent Wolf just using those tyres, burning them up. I wonder if that car could run on softs. He's just sliding it through the corners. I think Daz has got himself ahead of Spekmir. Yes, he has. He's put himself up into 6th place. Spekmir now flashing for fuel. He's going to have to do a splash and dash at the end of this race. I think he'll be able to do the 30 minutes on a tank. He's tried his best. Daz has got his left indicator still turned on. He's constantly telling everyone he's turning left. There is Mika in 5th place. Strong result for Mika. She's on the hard tyres. So she's using the hards at the end of this race. So people using these hard tyres tactically. Deciding, right, I'll put the hards on now. I don't have to use them in race number 2. Still got a few drivers who haven't used the hard tyres that I can see. There is Mika in 5th. Matt Psycho and Illusion are having a fight though, going down the start-finish straight. The 4 GTs fighting each other through turn number 1. Illusion up into 3rd place, keeping himself ahead of Matt Psycho. He's got the soft tyres. Matt Psycho has got the hards. Matt Psycho was one of the drivers that hadn't used the hard tyres. He's now using them. to finish this race off, he's decided, I'm going to use them, burn them off, sacrifice positions here, as Speed Hunter, I think, is going to get another lap out of his car. I don't know though, it could be very close. Let's watch Speed Hunter go through 13, 14. It's a 30-minute race. He could run out of time. If he's clever enough, he may actually decide to just slow it down through the final corner so he doesn't have to do another lap. He is going to take the victory, it looks like, here at race number 1 in the MR Cup. And he does. He wins here. 20 laps then from Speed Hunter. Illusion has got himself up in second place. So Illusion in second place in his Ford GT. Has Silent Wolf made a mistake? I think he has. Silent Wolf has made a mistake on the final lap. Daz has got Mika on his final lap. Pat is trying to... I don't know what's happening there with Illusion. There we go. Illusion up into second. Third place is Matt Psycho. Fourth then, Silent Wolf has made an error. He's lost 13-14 seconds on this lap. Daz up into 5th place. He's got Mika on the final lap. So Daz up into 5th. Some good racing though throughout the field. So Daz gets up into 5th place. 6th is Mika. 7th is Aloe in his Audi. In 8th place, oh no, just being taken over by Gasman on the final corner. Gasman sneaking up. Into 8th place goes Gasman. 9th is Rob on drums. And Specmere, he tried to do the whole race on a tank of fuel and has just run out of fuel here. He's plodding around now. Pat in the chat didn't get on with the hard tyres. Too many mistakes in the second half of that race. Mika says did not expect to get sick. Very happy. Rob on drums. And Matt Psycho saying great race as we watch Specmere crossing the line. He tried to do the race on a tank of fuel. It would seem that it was going so well, but in the end, unable to get there. Cool Boy in 11th place and 12th was Pat, but the winner of the race, after a dominant performance, his first victory here in the Sunday Night League. It says it's C. Tanner. It is Speed Hunter. He got the pole position, he got the clean race, and he got the fastest lap. No, he did not get the fastest lap. I apologise, I'll tell you who got the fastest lap when I get confirmation of the race result. Thank you everybody for watching. We will be with you in about 10 minutes time for race number 2 of this MR Cup. But I think everybody will be very happy to say this first one's been pretty good. Okay, so we will see you in 10 minutes time for race number 2 here at Yamagiwa in the Sunday Night League MR Cup. Thank you everybody for watching. Like, share and subscribe and put the notification bell on. You will not miss race number 2 if you put down that race notification.